Okay, welcome to this special Village Board meeting, February 12, 2015. We are here for the board to discuss Orange Avenue and the Chestnut Street zone change. The applicant has asked for this meeting to update the board on where they are with the project for informational purposes only. There will be no votes taken today, no decisions made. It's strictly for Orange Avenue Associates to come to the board with information and for the board to ask questions as they deem appropriate. So, who's speaking? Ira? Josh?
Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I really appreciate you making the time. So just a little bit of an update on the progress of this project. Since we last all met only about a week and a half ago, I have had very productive and almost to a final conclusion with the Shen family on their property on Orange Avenue. David and his wife Joy have worked very fair with me on trying to bring the project to fruition, and I met with her today, and I think probably by the end of today, tomorrow, we should have a resolution with Jen family. The reason why I asked for this meeting today is because I still have one property owner left to consolidate the four parcels that make up the project.
Just the Blauville property is all...
Yeah, Patricia, I don't know Patricia's her new name, but Patricia Blauville and her family in the estate, they've been wonderful through this process, probably more than anyone. Well, the Village of Suffern's been great too, but out of all of the landowners other than you guys, they've understood how valuable the project is to this village, and I wanted to see it happen since 2007. I originally proposed that urban renewal. I'm really not the type of person to air, I don't want to call it dirty laundry, but situation that currently has arose with the last landowner needs to be brought to the attention of you as the board, because I really do feel that this is an important project to not only just me as an investment opportunity, but also to you for the economic this project will do to your village. I have been in contract with the gentleman who occupies 130 Orange Avenue for about a year, Ira? About a year. And basically, to cut straight to the chase, I was notified by a cancellation notice of that contract at 7:37 p.m. last Wednesday. And now I can pretty much guarantee I know where everybody up on this stage was at 7:37 p.m. last Wednesday. We were all here discussing the future of this project and where it was going to go. Again, that contract could have been canceled at any time prior than 7:37 p.m. It could have been a month before, it could have been 6 months before, it could have been the morning of. It wasn't. It was done purposely at a very, very inopportune time, because I think certain individuals thought that this village would have acted in favor of the project, and then would have put me in a very interesting situation. I think that's a good way to put it. So I need to make you all aware of this, because frankly, without that one piece of property, there is no project. It is a crucial corner. Can't build around them, can't build over them, and I can't build under them. So I need to discuss other options with this board to try to bring this project to fruition. Now, it has to be perfectly clear that Orange Avenue Associates, myself, my family, and my partners and I, we weren't paying this individual nothing. This was a very, very, very lucrative deal for this individual, and I was really hoping to have him come along, as both the Shen family has done, the Blauville family has done, and you have done as one of the landowners as well. I made multiple attempts on trying to meet with our attorneys face-to-face, as I've done with the Shen family in their personal residence on multiple occasions, to explain to them the financial benefits of what this project is going to do. And David and Joy got it, and so did Patricia. And as far as this other landowner, it just went on deaf ears, and I never got return phone calls. And as far as legal responses, nothing, other than at 7:37 p.m. last Wednesday was a cancellation of contract.
So Josh, you've not had any correspondence with him since the date of cancellation?
No, I have
notice
not.
That you received?
No, I have not.
And you've reached out to them?
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Sorry. That's okay.
Just to make sure everybody understands, the email was sent to me. It had the date, timestamp of 7:37 p.m. At 7:37 p.m., of course, we were here preparing for it. I didn't see that email until after the meeting was over. So it wasn't as if we proceeded with it knowing that there was this cancellation. I just want to make sure the board understands that. They canceled. We didn't find out about it until after the meeting was concluded.
Thank you.
So this is the current status of where this all sits. I'm looking to this board for help at this point, frankly, because Mr. Emanuel and I don't know how to proceed. I am wondering whether or not, look, all of you know that this has been a very long, I don't want to use the word battle, but it's been a long process on trying to get us all over the hump. I do feel that the majority of us know the economic value of what this project will do to this village, and I don't think there's any argument about that at this point. But we're sort of at the 99th yard line, and I particularly would like to not pass at the Seattle Seahawks. But I'd rather run and I'd rather win, and I'm looking for your help to possibly get this over the hump and see what other options we can discuss.
Okay, questions from the board?
What would other options be? I'm curious. What are other options?
Well, one option is if this is, since it's part of the renewal that came up back in 2009 for this area and the blight with respect to the contamination on the properties, that the village could undergo an eminent domain procedure, which I can discuss and explain a little bit, if the board were so inclined. It'd be up to the board, and there'd have to be certain findings, and it is a bit of a process, and as I discussed with Mr. Emanuel, the cost and everything would be borne by his client. We would have to probably get counsel to, represent the board, enter into an agreement with the applicant, and it would be a bit of a process, but it's something that could be done if the board were interested in the entirety of the project going forward by exercising eminent domain on this one piece.
Thank you.
Good, Frank?
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody else have any other questions? No. Okay, so I think that since I'm sure that most of the board, probably with the exception of Matt, who is going to be abstaining from any participation in this whole process, are very unfamiliar with eminent domain, condemnation, so on and so forth. So I think at this point now that you've given the information to the board on where the project stands and that we know what our options are, we're going to, as a board, have to discuss and have Rob counsel us and give us the information on what exactly the options would entail, and then the board will have to come to some conclusion if in fact they would be considering any other options given light of the situation.
And I completely understand that. I just want to make sure that everybody knows all of the facts, exactly where I stand on this project. Also, I've had multiple conversations with Bill Port from the DEC about where I stand regarding the New York State Brownfields program, and I just want this board also to be aware of something. As of right now, the governor has not actually set out whether or not that program will carry into 2016. There's a sunset on it as of December 2015, okay? So what does that mean for the property on Orange Avenue? Right now, I have the acceptance of the cleanup on partial of what makes up of your property and also what makes up of David's property, okay? There is an estimated cleanup of between the two properties of approximately $350,000 to $400,000. Again, this is an estimated number because they still need to do further investigations to make sure there's no contamination into bedrock, okay? This one property, 130 Orange Avenue, does have identified petroleum contamination because it was a gas station. I mean, it was a gas station for many, many, many years, longer than probably I've been alive. His property is not in the brownfields program because I was not allowed to include it, was not allowed to take any test samples on his property, but I did take test samples around his property, low levels of which means there is something on his. My intention is that if everybody was going along with everything, and if this board did make the decision to go forward on the zone change, it was to act extremely quickly. I mean, December 2015 was going to be here before we all know it. Bill Port at the DEC said, look, listen, if you had your test wells in by late February, between late February and mid-March, yeah, we could probably get it all done. But if it starts rolling into, March, April, it's really, with all the 45-day wait periods and the testing that needs to be done, it's going to be extremely tight. Again, this is only if the governor's office doesn't extend the program. This also needs to be, I just want to make all of you aware of that as well. So that is the full, complete update of where I stand. So I really appreciate everybody coming today. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Okay. Any other questions, Ed?
No.
Nothing, okay. So, sure, why not? Can you come up to the microphone though, Jim, please? And I know, Jim, I know you have...
I'll say one.
No, I know you have valid questions.
Okay.
But I'm asking if you have questions. I don't need comments of how you feel about the
It's not
project.
a comment, it's a question.
I know you have questions, so...
Have you approached the people at the lower end of Orange about selling their property? Lower end of Orange? Yeah, below 120. Going towards the park.
You mean like the Greek restaurant?
The Greek restaurant and that other building. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head.
No.
Would that be an option?
The problem is that if you walk in the back behind their building, you have the other buildings like Marcello's.
Yeah, I know what it looks like in the back.
It starts, there's no growth. I mean, the last possible property is the village's property. You can't do.
The site plan won't.
Site plan won't allow.
Let's put it this way, it doesn't add anything to the site plan.
What is the acreage that you lose if you go that way?
It's not a matter of the acreage necessarily, it's a matter of access and development potential.
Well, you'd still have the option of going into a Bravo. I mean, I'm not an engineer. These are just questions in my mind. And I thought it might be an option, so that his property wouldn't be as valuable as he thinks it is.
Thank you, Jim.
I have a few questions. I thought this was a dead deal. It's not anymore?
Jeff, that's a comment. We're talking, if you have a question directly
I
to the board.
question, is this deal still alive? Is the pilot still in force?
We're talking about the zone change. Anything with regards to the zone change? Any questions? No comments, questions?
Okay. A question is, why do you think the property owner served you with that cancellation notice at the same time the meeting was being heard here?
Not a clue.
Why did you come here to ask, what specifically did you come to ask the board to do?
I think you've heard Mr. Goldstein, he asked the board to help him and try to find options that would allow the project to move forward given the current state of affairs.
Did you know that there would be only one option?
Get it on the tape.
No, Jeff.
That's a fair question.
Okay, I think that they blanket stated that they came here to ask what options were available, and if in fact the board would be interested in looking into them. So we've got past that.
Okay.
They've answered those questions already.
So now you have to consider how to move forward based on the information you just heard from the developer?
Well, I think that we have to get information on what the options are and look into those options and see if it's something that this village board would consider to proceed with or not to proceed with.
I just have one last question.
Sure.
Can't you just call the governor and ask him to extend the brownfield thing? You're his buddy. I mean, my God, you're in bed with him. What the heck's going on
Okay,
here?
thanks, Jeff.
Hi, not a question, but
Deb, just
a
give your
memory.
name and address.
Oh, Debbie Tapp, Oakdale Manor. When Lou Superior was selling the property to the current owner, that was my mechanic, and he often said that the property was only being sold as a temporary measure, and that there was a contingency in the sale that it has to be available for the future, he called it condos at the time, but that there was already a plan back when it was originally sold, so maybe there's something in that original paperwork. Just an avenue to dig.
Thank you, Debbie.
Any comment, question, please? I can clear that up.
Make it short.
The question is that there was a second buyer after that buyer. That buyer, does anyone know if there was a second buyer after that buyer? The first buyer was the doctor and the other builder from Chestnut Street, and then Mr. Meehan was the next buyer after that, okay? Now, is it a fair question to ask, what was the offer made on that property that was there? Are you allowed to divulge what?
That we've made?
Yes.
Yeah, we're not going to be consulted over that at this point.
Okay, all right. Is it a fair question, do you know what that person paid for that property at the time? Within the last, I just questions.
I don't know, but that would be a matter of public record. You could go and you can check the deed stamps.
Okay. Would you be able to answer, is the number you're offering a substantially amount more than what the person paid for it a few years prior?
I don't want to get into that.
You can't, okay, that's fine, I understand, okay. Thank you very much. Huh?
Okay, so can I have a motion to adjourn the board meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Opposed? Adjourned.